Hello, good afternoon everyone. Thank you for coming back to join me today. I've just finished doing the frog journals and I'm going to be making some botanical journals next, I think. So I'm going to do a couple of videos on just getting some ephemera ready. And I've been looking at Rachel's 100-day projects. And there's a couple of things in there that I want to have a go at that I've made before or that I've not tried before. And Rachel recently made a no-sew notebook, and I thought, well, that's useful to have. I like to try and include different things with journals when I've made them, so I thought that might be something that's useful. And I've got a few of Rachel's papers that I've printed out, and these are only on 80 GSM normal copy paper, so I glue two pieces of A4 back to back, so they're quite big when I've folded them. And I thought I've got two or three made up, glued and folded, and I haven't done anything with them. They were in my made this, don't know what to do with box, so I thought it might be ideal to use and take out for this project. So I've put one together because I wanted to kind of get a feel for how it works. I'm quite pleased how it turned out. So this one I think was one of Lulu's papers. So, and I've backed it with one of Rachel's that you can see there. This one I've stitched round, and then I've done Rachel's no-sew method. So I've stuck the paper in. There's a little envelope just there. And then there's all different papers in it, and I've put some writing spots on it. And at the back, I ended up with a little bit that was just like a pocket, just to seal it off. And I thought I quite like how it turned out. It's not too bulky, but I thought it was a bit of fun. So I'm going to make a couple of those, see what you think. So the next one that I've just picked up is one of Rachel's book pages, one of her vintage book page digitals, and I'd backed that, and say they've been sat not doing much for a little while, and I've separated my papers into double, like I've got some that are double pages and I've got some that are single pages. So I'm just going to kind of have a go and see how it turns out. And I think as long as they don't come any further than the crease where the book's going to close, job's a good one. So first paper to be put down. So it's a piece of, this is one of Rachel's papers, and I've folded it, and this bit is going to glue down, and this will be the first page. And I thought that was just quite pretty. I'm just thinking actually that could be a nice little pocket at the front. Right, one moment. Okay, so I hadn't really thought that through, had I? So what I've thought was that if I stick this on here and have this as a pocket, the same as on the other one, I had one at the back, but it's only copy paper, so I've just put a bit of scrap paper on the back of it just to strengthen it if it's going to be a pocket. And then I need to stick it down. So it is a bit sticky on this bit anyway, so I'm going to put glue everywhere and get everywhere just glued up clearly. So if this is going to be a pocket, and just put some scraps of paper or something in it. And I don't want that to be the first fold that I've got. I don't want it to be kind of right on the fold, but I want it to be kind of close to it. I think it's hard to see where these fold lines are. Let's have a look at what I've got. Yeah, I think that'll work. And as I've used the it's not art glitter glue that I use, it's a strong PVA, and as I've already stuck that down, that's where it's going once it's down. But there is a little pocket just there, so that can be used as a little pocket at the front. I can go back and check if it needs gluing other places. I'd already got myself ready with some hinges, and these are just scraps of paper that I've got that are mostly just printed on one side. So I'm just going to use those as the hinges. So that's going to go down there. And I like to kind of refer back to what I did on the last one. Oh, I put an envelope. Don't know if I've got, oh, I did an envelope. So the envelope's going to be smaller, but that doesn't really matter, does it? No, it doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hinge on there. So I'm going to put some glue. I don't know how wide I just tore these. Does anybody want to know how wide they are? I didn't want great big hinges on. Oh, roughly an inch, so maybe a little bit less than an inch. And I'm not worried that it's white on the inside, because they're the bits that are going to get stuck down, so you're not actually going to see them. Now the way that I need to do it, and I'm hoping that you can see, is that needs to go as close to the edge as I can get it, and it's upside down. Do you know, I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry, because that might get covered up anyway. Who knows? And then I'm going to put the envelope on there. So I need to put some glue on this bit of the hinge. Have any of you done this? Rachel used, I think she had got some of the Tim Holtz wallpapers that she used for hers, and it looked really good when she'd done it. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm just trying to make sure it's nicely stuck down, and again I've just lined it up with the edge of that, and I'm going to just snip that little bit extra off, because if I don't, it's going to get stuck to everything else, isn't it? So I don't think the papers have to be kind of the same lengths. They just need to be able to fit together, don't they? And then just close it and make sure that everything will still open. So far so good. That's 2 pieces down. I think I might put a single page next. What have I got single page wise? Oh, they're double pages. I don't want a double page. That I think would look all right. Too big. Too big, too big. So I'm just going to tear it down a bit. We don't want it to stick out too much, otherwise you're not going to be able to close it. So that's okay. That's fine. And then, oh, hinge. That's what I need, isn't it? Another hinge to go on there. Put some glue on there. So really you're just layering up your pieces of paper. Trying to get them as straight as possible down this edge. And again, I think I need to just trim that one, don't I? I'm only going to trim the side that's attached to that envelope. I'm going to flip that round actually. Can't get at what I'm doing. Suppose I could have done that with the other one, couldn't I, if I'd thought about it, but I didn't think. And as my husband says, that's my trouble. We don't always think, do we, when we're crafting. So how does that close now? So we've got one page, opens, opens. I've got the hinge there, and I'm going to put that onto there. So a bit of glue on there. Glue it down. I suppose you could, I mean, you could put like a little spine in these, couldn't you, just to extend it that little bit further. That up to there. Just make sure it opens. One, two, three. Then I think maybe next we'll have a double page. Yep, I think I'm going to do a double page next. That one will do. So this is a page of Edith Holden that I've just folded in half. I've actually gone through, I suppose we're all the same. We tear pages out of books, and some we use and some we don't use. And you end up with I've ended up with a great pile box of book pages that I've not used. And I just thought this might be an ideal way to get down them a little bit. Close that one. A little bit of glue. I've got really sticky fingers already, folks. So I'm recording this the Tuesday after bank holiday, the Easter bank holiday Monday. We had quite a quiet bank holiday Easter. Saw the grandkids, which is always nice, but for once we didn't have anybody round for dinner or anything like that, so it was nice and quiet. I'm just opening them just to make sure that I'm still, oh, that's a little bit, oh, I wasn't looking there, look, it's a little bit wide. That's okay. I'm going to, oops a daisy, collapsing stuff. I'm going to slice a bit off there because it's encroaching onto the fold of the envelope. So just take those off. Yeah, that fits much better, doesn't it? Probably could have left more on it than that. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we think we might like next? I think we'll use some shall we do that? I wanted a piece of coffee paper in it actually. I think that might be quite nice to put in. Just a couple of places then that people can write. It's going to be way too big, so I'm going to cut some off there. Roughly how wide is it? So I want it to be about 7 inches wide probably. I'm just going to go with 7 inches and see what it looks like. Obviously I don't want it too high. Yeah, that's about right. That's good enough for me. I'm just going to glue that on, and instead of adding a hinge on that, I've actually just folded the page over. So that, I'll just turn that round. We'll go on there like that. That can just be folded, can't it, and be some extra writing paper. And it still keeps within the fold of there, so I'm not worried about that. Oh, very sticky fingers now. 1, 2, 3, very sticky. 4, 5, 6. How many did I put in the other one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the folder. So yeah, it's about the same. And I think if you start and put too many in, it's just not, because this bit here, I don't know if you can see, but it is getting quite thick. It's well over 1/4 of an inch there now. So if you put too much in, it's not going to fit on that seal. So I think I might put a double page on there. It just needs a little bit cutting off, I think, not a lot. Not a lot, just a little. And actually the back page of it, I'm going to use to join to the back page, I think. Just trying to think what I wanted to do then. Sorry if I went a bit quiet. And I'm hoping that I'm on screen and you can see what I'm doing. That one will be okay. Sticky book page. Oh, glue. There it is. But I thought it's nice. I've got a few things made. So what I want to do is do a couple of botanical journals. So when I do a botanical journal, I usually use Rachel's papers. And I've got a box of things that I have made with Rachel's things sat waiting to be used. So I think that's what I'm going to go to, but I know I haven't got nearly enough. So I'm going to make some tuck spots, some pockets and some journaling cards. So I might do a couple of videos on getting ready to fill a couple of journals. If you think that might be interesting or not. And then maybe I'll show you how I put together journal pages, how I make a decision what I'm going to put in, and maybe decorate them. That page is still sticky. That's going to pull out, so it's got a little bit of writing space. That's stuck on there. So you can see it does get quite big. And then this, I'm thinking I can either fold it under and have it as a tuck spot there on the back as well. I might do that actually. Then that would be a tuck spot just there, wouldn't it? So that would have a tuck front and back. So I think I will do that. Didn't fold that very straight, I don't think, but it's okay. I'm just going to snip the edges just slightly, just so it folds in a bit better. There we go. And then I want to glue this bit down. And then this is the page that's going to connect to the back of the book, and that's where it worries me it's going to go horribly wrong. So I think I'm going to use a clear glue. This one it glues really well, but it just gives me that little bit more time to move things if I've got it in the wrong. Oh, bunged up, hang on a minute. Put a pin down the end, don't lose the pin. It just gives me a little bit more time to move things around if I've got it in the wrong place, which worries me slightly doing these, that I am going to put this in the wrong place so it won't close. Try and put plenty of glue on there because this is what's attaching it to the back page. I don't know how we're doing for time. How are we doing for time? Oh gosh, I've been with you nearly 20 minutes already. It's because I'm trying to think and glue and do at the same time. Right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the book and I'm going to open it. That still needs to open, doesn't it? Just ease that in to that little crease. and go around with the glue again and just make sure it's stuck. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little step there, and that's because these pages have got a little bit big and bulky. So I'm just going down and just refolding all the pages just to make sure it's going to close or open and close, which it seems to be doing. I might need to straighten that one up a little bit. Have a go at that, shall we? They seem to be a little bit wonky. Is it wonky? I don't think it is. I think it's the way that it's laying. I'm not going to worry about it because it's within the crease. It's just it looks a bit wonky. What I might do is just do a little mark there and just try and cut. I think this line's going to be wonky actually, but it might lay better. I think it's because as you put in different papers in, paper's paper, isn't it? It doesn't always lay the way that you want it to. See, that looks better then. So we've got one, we've got an envelope, just glue that down there, glued. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there'll be a pocket just there. So I am happy with that, and I'm going to put that one to one side. So I hope you could see from that how I made it. You can see it's still not, it's a little bit bulky, but it's not too bad, is it? So I'm going to put that to one side just to become a little bit less sticky. And I just want to go back. I'm going to leave it open on the pages, or put something between the pages that were sticky. I don't want it to all stick together, do I? Okay, going back to this one that I'd already put together, so different pages, I put a whale tail tab on there with a little grommet thing in. I've just attached some string and I've put some buttons on the bottom. So with that one, I'd used one of Rachel's papers again. I've just covered it on the back, which I'll probably do on the other one because I don't like to see just plain white paper, so that can be a writing space. There's an envelope just there, there's a plain page there. I've put some straw paper on there, so that can be a writing spot. I put a writing spot just there, and I think that's because of the image that was on there, probably. Some paper in there, and then in the back I've done another little pocket, and I've just added some papers that I've got left over as scraps. So I think that's a pretty little book, and I wanted to do some bits of decorating. So I've had a look at what I've got, and I can't remember where I was going to put anything at all. I wanted to do a little card to go in that pocket. So I've got some pre-made cards that I've made previously, and I thought one of those might just look nice in there. And I wanted to put a little bird on it, look, which I thought was quite cute. And I think that's what I'm going to do on there. So let me just get a piece of paper that's not sticky. I've just grabbed a few bits and pieces out of the out my box. What do I want to do? I want to put this little label on, didn't I? So I think that little label, do you know what, I'm going to put that down there. I don't want to cover these flowers up, but I think that if I put that like that, it looks like that little bird sat in that tree. So I'm going to put him just there. I think it's quite useful to have tags that you've got made up, even if they're not decorated, when you're making a journal. It just cuts the time down for you a little bit, doesn't it? There we go. That little bird is just sitting in that tree. I did have a card, so I can just squash them down a little bit, make sure they're stuck. So I like that. That's just a journaling card, so that can just pop in there. Do I want a little card on there? I think I might put that on there actually. Shall I? Or shall I put it here? I'm going to decorate it anyway and then decide where I want it to go. So this is one of Rachel's papers that I've just put into a tag. I think, oh gosh, I'm off screen, aren't I? I think I might just put Mr. Owl on there. If any of you make these and you've got either Instagram or YouTube or something, I'd love to see your take on it. You know, I think we all make things slightly differently, don't we? I like that. And put our own little slants on different things the way that we do them. I think Rachel's book was a bit smaller than this. Hers was a cover that she'd made for something else. Oops. And waste not, want not, as we do. That's what she'd used it for. So I don't know whether I could clip that in with a little, I've got some paper clips here. I don't want to make an extra pocket out of it because I don't want to make this too bulky. So I thought if I just clip it in, then whoever gets this with their journal from me can glue it in if they want to, can't they? So there's a little journaling card there. Just wait for that glue to dry. Got a little journaling spot here. Quite like that bee up there. Bee? No, it's a beetle. So I think that's going to go on there. Just little random bits of decoration, I think. Very random, I can hear you say. And then we put that little journaling card in there, didn't we? That will close over. I could also put something in there. How about that? Just so that somebody could use that to decorate it more if they wanted to. Space there, somewhere to write, somewhere to write. You could still, you know, stick something on here if you wanted to. Some writing space there and the little pocket there. So I'm pleased with that one. So that will go out with a journal at some point. I'll put it in my box of things I've made that I do know what to do with. I mean, you could decorate this and put a pocket on it. I just didn't want to cover up the images and things. I really didn't want to. So that's that one done. So is this one, is it any drier? Let's just see. We need something to go there. And I think I just want some paper that can be written on there. If I had my tear ruler, here we go. Somebody asked me about how I use the tear ruler. And I think all you've got, noisy tearing, all you've got to do is be quite firm with it when you're using it. You know, hold the paper down and tear. Trial and error. Sometimes it works out really nicely and other times not so nicely, I have to say. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of ink around the edges because I sometimes don't like to see white. And I'm just thinking if I'm going to put some paper over this, I might very well see some white. Which I know it isn't really very offensive, but out there. So I just wanted some extra little, oopsie daisy, moved it, some writing space just to go on here. Do I have any scissors? Just cut that bit off. So I'm just going to put that over that white paper. Just then that's some nice writing space then, isn't it? And I think if you get, if you want to make some of these to go with your journals, so they're tuck in a pocket at the front or put them on the front of the journal, underneath the tie or back or something. And I think it's nice to either decorate it to be, to match the theme that you're doing, or if you've decorated it before, decide which journal you're going to put it in. Yes, that's just a little bit of, oops, threw my glue on the floor. So there's a pocket just there. I've got some of Rachel's journaling cards here, so we could put a pocket, we could put something in that pocket. That's quite pretty, isn't it? So that could go in there. I think when this is nicely dry, I might put a book on it for a bit. I think I might put some, oh, that fits, doesn't it? Put some writing paper on there as well. And it's got a couple of places that you can write. I hope this has made sense to you all. I hope I explained it. I will link Rachel's video below as well so that you can see how Rachel made hers. Put some glue on there. Oops, curling. Oops, that looks very wonky, doesn't it? But I think that's me. That's my tearing. Wonky tearing. There we go. That needs a little bit of glue under there. I'll see how this folds when it's dry. I mean, it could have a pocket across there. Just thinking that might be a good idea. It might not. But that's going to have a very wonky pocket. I'm just folding all the edges under. This is the way that I make a quick pocket. Snip at the angle so that it reduces the bulk. And the top of that, so I've folded it on all four sides, the top of it gets folded under just to reinforce the bit where you're going to be putting things in and out your pocket, like so. And then that will go on there. Not very straight, I shouldn't think for one moment. How straight did I get it? Move things out the way, Carol. It's got static electricity on it. It's moving out the way. Actually, that's pretty straight. Not bad going, girl. Maybe I'll put a little notch in there so we know it is a pocket. And I'm going to glue that on there and we'll have a pocket. So you can decorate these as much as you want to or not. Or you can leave them and let somebody else decorate them. You could make them into a little ephemera folder. So that's got a little pocket there now, look. I'm just looking through these are quite little, these tags though, aren't they? Oh, I don't know, there we could fit a couple in, couldn't we? That's got a pretty pink flower. These are all backed. I went through all of Rachel's tags and backed them. Oh, that one's even been stitched around, look. So that's going to go in there. So I will, those that haven't been stitched around, I will put those to one side. Not forget, you know, you are bulking it out, all the bits that you put in. That one didn't want to lay straight, did it? That's better. Could put a tab on there to show that that pulls out. Don't want that one, it's got a little bit of a snake's tail on. I've actually found a die cut that cuts these whale tails, and I think it does them in 3 different sizes, so I'm just waiting for that to be delivered. So I'm quite excited to see what that looks like when it comes, because I do love these whale tabs. That's that. How are we doing? Should we go from the beginning again? I mean, it might be nice to put something on, mightn't it? Quite like that butterfly on there, actually. It's a bit plain though, isn't it? Just a butterfly. What have we got? Sorry, I'm reaching, folks. We could have a, oopsie, all my birds are coming out. We could have a bird. Quite like that butterfly. Don't want just a bird and a butterfly, do we? That looks a bit odd. Don't know, what do you think about the owl and the butterfly? Now, as Rachel says, that blends into the background a little bit, doesn't it? And I don't know, but I've got many odds and ends or bits and pieces. That might be quite nice. If it doesn't work out, I can print it again, can't I? Keep telling myself that, you know. If you don't like it, you can print it again. What does that look like? I'm just wasting time with you now, aren't I? I do quite like that on there, but I don't like that I'm covering that up, so I'm going to discard it. I like the owl. I think it needs something, but I'm just not sure what. So I always think if you're not sure, move on. Let me just put the lids on those, move those out the way. So I might have a look for something to decorate this, or I might leave it until I know what journal it's going in, and then I can put something on then. Okay, so where are we with it? So it opens up at the front. We've got that little tag in there that I'll stitch round, so that goes there. We've got that page, and that's a writing page. We need something to go in there. Found a little postcard there, look, with a little bunny on. That can go in there. That butterfly might look nice just there. That's going to go on there. Quick decision. I think sometimes you can overthink things, and it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? It's just a bit of fun. Make sure his little antennae are stuck down. That can go on there. Might put something on there. That's there. Maybe some writing space on there again. Maybe something. I don't think I've got anything to hand. Think about that. Book. Nice page to pull out. A couple of little journaling cards in there. And then a pocket at the back. I've got that journaling card there that can just tuck in there. There we go. So that's that. I will put a tag of some sort on there so that it's got a closure around it. So I've got two that I've kind of done, haven't I? Different heights, different sizes, and I have got a couple more that I've kind of got ready. So I'll do those two as well, and then I'll have 4. So I hope that you found this useful, and I will be back with something another day. So take care, everybody. Bye.